I watched 32 films this month. 32. This is the most I've probably ever watched in a month. And I'm proud of myself, but at the same time, I probably shouldn't be that proud. I mean, it's probably not great to watch that many films. So I'm going to rank them from what I think is the worst film to the best. A lot of these are interchangeable, especially when they're like, I give them the same rating. I could probably change them around how I'm feeling. It would impact it. So I'm just going to go over it from what I think was the worst film to the best. I do have two films that I did not rate because I am just not the target audience for these films at all, which are the Top Gun series. I watched it with my friend. I didn't really care for it like at all. Like it wasn't my type of film. But I didn't think it was a bad film or anything like that. I just decided not to rate it because I didn't know what's the best way to rate it. Okay, so I'm gonna get into my list. At number 30, I have the worst film, probably one of the worst films I've ever watched. Home Alone 4. So Home Alone 4 is basically just the biggest cash grab I've seen in my life. It's basically about Kevin and his parents get divorced, and it's about him going to his father's girlfriend's house or whatever, and for Christmas, and Marv and his like wife uh try to break in and I guess take stuff and rob stuff. And the film, they don't have the same actors. This film's just bad. It just feels like they made it to cash in on the Home Alone franchise. It did not feel very much like passion was put into it at all. The characters were whatever, I guess. Like they weren't. They're not the Kevin that we know and love. They're not the Kevin's parents that we know and love. It's not a very. It's just such a, I don't know, bad film. It's one of those films that if I'm gonna rate a film this low, it's because this film made me angry. It just felt like the biggest cash grab. I do not recommend this film at all. If you're going to watch all the Home Alone films, then I guess that makes sense why you'd watch it. But 1 star. Now, at the 29th place, which I gave 1.5 stars, which I could maybe give it one higher. A lot of these 1.5 stars films, I could maybe give it a 2 star, but this is UFO Abduction. Basically, this film is about a family who, this guy, he's recording he's recording the family during, I think, someone's daughter's, or I think it was someone's daughter's like birthday party or something, and aliens come. I guess uh they see aliens, and I mean the concept's interesting. You don't see the aliens very much. It definitely feels like a passion project. I remember the budget when I googled it or whatever being really like low. So I guess that could change my rating a little bit, but I just did not like this film. Like it was just so boring to get through. It's just one of the worst things a film can be to me is boring, where I'm just sitting there, I'm like, when is this over? And that's what this film was. The quality is really bad, which is kind of expected with found footage, and it's an older film, so I mean, that's not too big of a deal. But I just wasn't invested in this film. I respect it more than I enjoy it. And the 28th place is Sharknado. I'm going to make it being a YouTube video on the Sharknado franchise soon, so subscribe if you want to see that, I guess. But the first film it was another film I just did not feel invested in. Basically, it's literally just about Sharknadoes. These people want to survive from Sharknado attack, I guess. But the thing is, most of this film, or a big chunk of it, there's like not really a tornado. I don't know if that's that big of a spoiler or anything. And I think I wanted a little bit more of that, and I just was not. This is another film I just was not invested in. 1.5 stars. It wasn't good. It was a very dumb concept, and it was something that's silly. I feel like I can enjoy, but I did not like this film very much. It was just another one that I was like, I'm ready for this to be over. I watched it with my dad. I think he enjoyed it more than me. On 27th place, I have Bone Alone. Bone Alone is an awful name to give a film. Like at first, I'm like, oh, that's clever, and yeah, it's clever. But then I think about it, and I think about it, and I'm like, maybe don't name it Bone Alone. I give it 1.5 stars. It's basically about a family that goes on their grandparents' house, I think, or something like that, or a relative's home, and they leave one of their dogs home, and robbers try to break in. that's kind of the film. It's very, very dumb. It's made by the same is it studio or something like that that made Sharknado. Maybe that's why they're so close. I don't know. It's a very dumb film. I didn't get as much enjoyment as I thought I was going to, and so that's why I'm rating it so low. I mean, I rate films low because they're bad, but this is one of those ones where I was hoping I'd enjoy it more and give it a higher rating, but whatever reason, didn't really care for it. On to the 26th place, which now it's 2 stars, is Home Alone, The Holiday Heist. This film is basically just about a family that moves into a home, and the son suspects the home of being haunted. And there's robbers. So it's very similar to the first Home Alone in some ways, but I didn't really care for this film. I wasn't very impressed. It felt like another cash grab, but I do think that Home Alone 4 like tainted my opinion on this film. So maybe I would have rated it higher if it wasn't for the abomination that was Home Alone 4. But this film, I mean, I don't care for the characters except for like one, the old gamer dude, I thought he was pretty fun. This film was just whatever. I do think it was like an interesting way of making another Home Alone film. It didn't feel like as much of a cash grab as number 4. I still think it was probably just a cash grab, but it was all right. So onto the next film, Goosebumps 2: Haunted Halloween, at 2 stars. This film basically about these 2 friends who find the Slappy Doll. The Slappy Doll comes to life, and it wants to do something evil, I guess. It wants to... Here, I'll just say this. If you watch Goosebumps, the first movie, it is very, very similar to that film. It feels too similar. I wish there was something new from it. Like something different, but there's not really. So I didn't really care for this film. Okay, the 24th film is Paranormal Activity at 2.5. This film is basically just about this couple who are experiencing paranormal activity or paranormal situations, and the boyfriend decides to record it, and they argue a bunch, and nothing happens. Well, things happen, but not that much things. It's pretty boring, in my opinion. I can see why people would like it. I think I would like it if it was darker when I watched it, but did not care for this film, which leads to the 23rd film, which is kind of surprising because in a way this film is even more boring than the other film, but for whatever reason, I was more invested in this, and my theory is that I had to pause it a ton. And so I think me pausing this film and having those little breaks made this film way more watchable. I could see myself watching it again and giving it a way lower rating. And that film is In a Violent Nature. Now, In a Violent Nature is basically, I don't know, this guy steals some like item, I guess you could say, like something personal to this creature or something, and the creature wants it back. That's all I'm gonna really say about this film, besides the fact that it has a ton of walking, a ton of walking. There is a whole lot of nothing in this film, and then there are randomly some of the most brutal, graphic, gory scenes, which I think some of them are genuinely pretty entertaining and pretty fun, but still not a great film. It's 2.5 stars. It'll probably be lower when I watch it again. The next film on this list is Krampus at 2.5 stars. This is the 22nd film. Krampus is about a kid who stops believing in Santa, if I remember right, and Krampus, or doesn't believe in the holiday spirit or something like that. And Krampus comes to punish him, I guess. This film was another one I wasn't entertained enough. I think the idea was interesting, and I feel like maybe I'll watch it again and enjoy it. I wish I watched it with somebody else, because this is a film that I think I would have enjoyed so much more if I watched it with somebody else. I think for the most part, I mean, it was okay. It was meh. I didn't really care for it too much. I'd recommend you trying it, because I think a lot of people do like this film. My next film is kind of a hot take at the 21st place, Home Sweet Home Alone. I thought this film was pretty good. I think, for the most part, the biggest problem people have is the fact that the robbers in this film aren't really bad. They're kind of just people who want their stuff. You'll know if you see the film. But some of these traps that the kid makes are brutal. Like, I think the film was actually kind of enjoyable. I'm gonna be honest. It was dumb. The ending was whatever. Like, I mean, the film was like whatever, I guess, but the traps were fun. And I didn't like hate the characters that much. I thought it was a fine film. At 2.5 stars, I mean, I guess it's more of a meh than fine, but I'm just gonna maybe I might even give it higher if I watch it again. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it lower. 20th place is Sisu. Sisu is basically about this dude. He gets gold during, I think, World War II, and the Nazis take his gold, and he's mad, and he is going to get revenge. This film is definitely a carnage candy kind of film. Lots of good kills, some good gore, but I wasn't very entertained. I watched it with my sister. There were some parts I mean, I thought for the most part it was all right. I mean, I gave it 2.5 stars, so it's a meh kind of film for me. I could see myself watching it again and enjoying it more, but I mean, it is kind of fun watching Nazis get beat up. That's kind of nice. I wanted to say I will leave a link to this letterbox list. I will say at the very bottom is the 2 Top Gun films. That's not because I think they're worse than any of these films or anything. It's just because I didn't rate them because it's kind of a situation where I just didn't want to rate those films. In 19th place, I have Heavyweights at 3 stars. I could probably lower this, honestly. Heavyweights is about some heavier kids going to like a fat camp, and it's pretty fun. It's funny. I think it deserves 3 stars. I thought it was pretty funny, but another film where I was just not invested. So I wouldn't mind rewatching it sometime. I watched it with my brother. We had fun for the most part. I mean, it was dumb, but it was like fun dumb. Okay, at 3 stars at 18th place. Hear me out. Sharknado 2, the second one. This film is so bad. Like, remove all logic, though, and this film is entertaining. I don't know why I found this film more entertaining than the first. I couldn't really tell you why. Maybe because it's being even more ridiculous, but it's just kind of fun watching these sharks fly out of the sky and eat people. The CGI is horrible. This film is just bad. Like, everything, there's not much great about it, except for the fact that it's so bad that it's good. I know I probably should give it a lower rating, because technically it's a bad film, but it's entertaining, so I'm going to give it 3 stars. It probably should be less. 17th place at 3 stars is Ring O, or Ring, I think it's Ring O, or maybe it's Ring Zero. Basically Ring Zero Birthday. It takes place, it's kind of just about Sadako when she's younger, and I think I was a little confused while watching this film. This kind of happens with these films, especially ones where I have to read subtitles. I don't know if I take in all the information, but I mean, it was interesting. I thought for the most part it was just an interesting film. I don't know if it was that great. Like, I don't know if it was that great of a film. I didn't think it was a bad film by any means. I'm excited to watch Sadako, the next film. I've heard not good things about it, but I think I might enjoy it. Who knows? At 16th place, I have Spree at 3 stars. Spree is about a guy who works on a app called Spree, which is like Uber. That's the closest I can get to it. Like one of those like pickup services, kind of like a taxi. And he will do basically anything to be famous, and he records the drives, and things go horribly wrong. Spree it's more of a disturbing film. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. I just learned that the actor for the main guy, Kurt, is like that singer who has the End of Beginning song, if I remember right. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I thought that was crazy. I didn't know that. But yeah, definitely would recommend this if you like found footage. I don't know how I feel about found footage yet. I have only watched like 4 or 5 films that are found footage, but I'll watch more later. Okay, 15th place, Five Nights at Freddy's. It was okay. I didn't hate the film. I thought it was interesting. It had some decent, I don't want to say kills, but like before the kills, there's some like kind of brutal or brutally implied scenes that I liked. I mean, I've played the Five Nights at Freddy's games, but I'm not as like invested in them as I used to be, and so I don't remember all the lore, but I remember some of it. But I thought the film was fine. I didn't really say what it's about, but it's about animatronics that there's a bad guy and animatronics and stuff. There, that's enough said. Number 14. We're getting into films that I have 3.5 stars for. This one should be a 3 for me probably, but I'm gonna give it another half because I respect it a lot, because I think the budget was like $800 or $500 or something like that. Like, it was crazy, like about a tiny amount of money. It's called Milk and Cereal. I really wanted to watch this film because it was only like an hour long, and I didn't want to stay up too late, but I wanted to watch a film. So I decided to watch this one. This is another film kind of like Spree, where it's about people who want to get famous and things going horribly wrong. And I respect this film, and I think it's pretty disturbing. It's pretty interesting. It's another found footage style film. It's a nice short watch, an hour long. So if you like really need to watch if you really want to watch a horror movie and you just don't have time, you probably have time for this film. I would recommend it. Give support to the creators, definitely. I've realized that the directed by Curry Baker, and he's actually or Curry Barker, and he's actually directing a like full length, I think pretty well known film. Like it's gonna be a well known film, and I'm excited for him. Okay, next place is Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. I like this film. It was a lot of fun. I like seeing Kevin go and spend his parents' money and just kind of do what he wants. And that's always one of my favorite things about the Home Alone things, besides the Home Alone films, besides the traps. And I thought the parts with the bird lady were boring. They were important, probably, but I thought they were boring. Enough said. Home Alone 3. Please don't hate me in the comments too much. I enjoyed Home Alone 3 more. It's I mean, this guy's like beating up these people who want to like send a bomb to North Korea or a microchip to North Korea. This little kid's just beating them up, and he's got like some pretty cool uh traps. I've only given it 3.5 too, so it's barely, in my opinion, better than Home Alone 2. But I mean, I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was a little like the kid's pretty cool when his traps are pretty cool. Now, 11th place is Violent Night at 3.5 stars. Okay, basically, it's just about a kid who can communicate with Santa while people break into a home that she is in and want to steal stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but Santa just beating people up. It's pretty entertaining. For the most part, there were some parts I was a little bit bored at. I was kind of ready for the action to happen. There was a particular one scene towards the end that I thought was kind of brutal. That was pretty cool. I recommend this film. It's 3.5 stars. 10th place, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 3.5. Okay. Little explaining. I heard a lot of people hate this film. I think people say it doesn't really add anything, and they're probably right. But I watched it with my sister in the theater. She hasn't seen the first one. She liked it. I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. Maybe it's because I know a little bit about Five Nights at Freddy's lore and stuff that I enjoyed it more. And a few things where I'm like, oh wait, I think I get that. Definitely has its problems. I understand why people don't like it, but I give it 3.5 stars, and I enjoyed it. Now, Scream 6 at ninth place and 3.5 stars. I hate Scream 5. Like, I know that's a hot take probably, but like, I hate Scream 5 because uh things that I will not spoil. I hate that film. But Scream 6, after that thing that happened in the last Scream 5, now that we're getting to know these characters more that I'm not a big fan of, but I don't hate them. They're alright, I guess. I think the kills were pretty cool in this. There were some really fun scenes. I just enjoyed it. The gore, they upped the gore a bit. I mean, the last two films have been kind of gory, and I enjoyed it. Number 8th place, I gave Elf, which I'm a little surprised I gave Elf higher than the Home Alone ones. I think I would lower Elf like lower than the other Home Alone films. So I give it 8th place, 3.5, but it could be interchanged with the last, like, I don't know, other 3.5 films. They can all be like messed around with a bit. Basically, it's about this a dude who's raised in the North Pole and wants to find his real dad or his other dad. And it's really entertaining, really stupid, really goofy, a lot of fun. Recommend it if you haven't seen it already. You probably have. I don't think this was my first time watching it, but it was probably my first time fully watching it. 7th place at 3.5 stars, Anna and the Apocalypse. Anna the Apocalypse is basically about a zombie outbreak, and it's kind of one of those films where it's like, we're here, or the characters are in one spot, and they have to get to another, and zombies are attacking. And it's not it's not like the most creative thing ever, but it was really entertaining. And one thing that does make it creative is it's a musical, a horror musical, which I think those exist a few, but there's like one particular song that I thought was hilarious, and the rest of the musical's alright. I mean, and I like the characters. They did something towards the end which I wasn't expecting. It's crazy how this film is like, it's a comedy, but there were some moments that I genuinely thought were I don't want to say deep, but they were like, some of these characters I like, and it had some I don't know if heartfelt moment's the right word, but it had some like serious moments. Now, sixth place, 4 stars, Home Alone. This is one of those films where, okay, so first I'll tell you what it's about. Kevin gets left home alone, and burglars come and try to rob the place. So I don't know why, but I always forget about how much I like Home Alone until I watch it. I think because I wasn't fully excited for this film, but when I watched it, I really enjoyed it. But now I can't remember why I enjoyed it so much. But I really liked it. I like seeing home. I guess I like seeing Kevin just kind of like, I don't know. It's fun watching grocery shop and do all these like, I guess the things that the adults would normally do, and then booby traps are always so fun. Fifth place, 4 stars, is Inside. Inside is a French extremity film, I believe is what it's called. A lot of French extremity films have a lot of like essay and sexual assault, all that stuff. Yeah, but this film doesn't, and so I wanted something a little disturbing, and I decided to watch it. And this film was very bloody, very gory, but it was really good. Like I thought the story was interesting. There were some genuinely like intense parts. I think. I and there was a few parts that I guess kind of grossed me out, but overall, like, it was a good film. And if you're, I don't know if I can fully recommend it. Like I did in my review, I said I can't really recommend it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say if you can handle the gore, give it a shot. If it's too much for you, and some of the topics are just too much for you, I fully get that, and then just don't watch it. In fourth place, Malignant, 4 stars. I really like Malignant. I thought it was good. I kind of had the ending or I had the plot twist, I would guess you'd say. Kind of already knew it before I watched the film. But I really liked this film, and I was surprised about how like nasty and kind of gory some of these scenes were. It kind of got to me, and it was almost funny because I feel like part of this movie almost felt like an action film. But I liked it. It was such an unique, interesting idea that I haven't really seen before. It was directed by James Wan, so I mean, what do you expect? It's gotta be pretty good, huh? I think it does have a bit of a mixed moral review, but I mean, it says it has a 3.1 average on Letterboxd, which I still think is pretty good. Malignant is about I'll just read what the Letterboxd says. Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torments worsen as she discovers that these walking dreams are in fact terrifying realities with a mysterious tie to her past. Okay, it is what I watched next. It is kind of just about these kids who are in a situation with a evil force, and I really liked it. I love the main characters, like basically all of them, all the main characters that are I guess good, but they're genuinely just some of the most likable characters. Some of the most tragic things happen in this film, and I mean the kids almost they felt real. I mean, there's quite a few innuendos in this film, but I'm like, normally I'm like, oh, why you have to fill up a film of innuendos? But this film, like, it makes sense. They're teenagers. Of course, they're gonna be a little dirty. They're teenagers. Of course, they're going to see some not the nicest things. I guess they're teenagers and they feel like almost like a real. They feel pretty realistic, and I really like them. I really liked these characters, and the scares were all right. I guess. I like some of the designs for the creatures. Good film. I'd recommend if you haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure most of you have. Second place, I give Misery. Misery is about a guy who he gets in an accident. He wakes up and he is bedridden, and a lady's taking care of him, and she realizes, well, she knows that he writes a book series, and she wants him to finish, or she wants him to write a book, and that's all I'm gonna say. Really good film. A couple disturbing film scenes, pretty intense. 4.5 stars, really good. And first place. This is the first film I've given 5 stars. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to rate a film 5 stars exactly because I mean any film you could find at least like a tiny fault in it, and even this film I could find a few things that I don't care for. But 5 stars is The Long Walk. This film is a masterpiece. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's one of those ones where I mean I think Stephen King's just good at this writing these characters because I love the characters in The Long Walk. I don't like any of them to die. If you don't know what The Long Walk is, it's basically it's taking place in a dystopian version of the world, I guess, where every, I think, year they have I think 50 teenagers or so, something like that, 40 or 49 or 50 walk, and they walk until only one's left. It's a really new film, and it's really, 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 really good. And if you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. I love the characters. Genuinely, my stomach was twisted while watching this film. Like, I genuinely didn't want to see any of these kids get hurt. It was such a good film. Genuinely, some heartbreaking moments. I didn't cry, but I feel like I got close to crying. And I don't cry that much. I loved The Long Walk. I 100% recommend it. The biggest mistake about The Long Walk isn't the film itself, but it's a mistake I made. And that was to buy it online and not buy a physical copy, which I plan on doing soon because this film was really good. I kind of want the steelbook. Really good film. So those are basically all the films I've watched in December. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to post it probably towards the beginning of January, but I hope you guys like this video. I am going to start trying to do this every month. Sorry if it's not very professional yet. I'm going to try to get better and better. I'm trying to work on my editing. And if you have any suggestions about how I could improve, please leave those down in the comments. I'll read them. I'll try to improve. Also, I got this idea from Cody Leach's channel. He does the same thing, but he does it with, I think, just new films from the release that month, if I remember right. I like to just go through every film I've seen this month, not just new films. I really hope you guys like this video. I'm going to have the link in the description to this list. I really hope you guys have a good New Year's. I would love to know if you guys have any New Year's resolutions. I do. Have a good New Year's.